Hey YouTube, how's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are doing good today. All right, for the intro, my name's Sam. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This video is a little bit different for me. I'm kind of just doing it spur of the moment, and I'm filming in cinematic on my iPhone. Like I've done it before, but when I've done it before, there wasn't that much light. But anyway, all right. So to get on to the point of this video, so I did something. I'm gonna show you the item. This was a while ago, and I'm gonna kind of. This isn't going to be as much of like a review on the item. I am going to show you the item and say a few things on the item, but this is not like, I know there's videos where it's like, oh, this item has this is not going to be quite like that. There'll be a little bit of that in there because I want to talk about it, but the intent of this video is to kind of take you through the journey. We all love, the journey. To take you through but in all seriousness, to kind of take you through my thought process about, sounds like I committed a crime or something, about why I did this, what my thoughts were before, kind of what, it's kind of interesting, okay? And it's kind of interesting different people's thoughts in it. My thoughts have changed, and I'm also going to, towards the end of the video, cliffhanger, right? I guess it's not technically a cliffhanger if you're gonna show it in the video, but anyway, I'm gonna talk to you about if I would buy a fake again. If I would I? So anyway, I bought what I would call a super fake. Okay, I bought a Louis Vuitton, which in the cinematic view it's blurry, but when I bring it into focus, so all right, so this is fake. Okay, and I hesitated to do this video because in the future, if I buy something real, I don't want people questioning, oh, is that fake? Is he fake Frank over there or something? I don't want that. So I kind of felt like it's a little bit of a risk to take this video, but one of my things in life or my things as of recent, maybe in early 2024 goals, to just be more transparent. I kind of like that. Even if I inadvertently give someone something to use against me. It's showing my kitty cat. It had him, you can't see it, but it has the outline of what it's focused on, and it has it on him too. So anyway, bro, man, what were you saying? So to be a little bit more transparent, and when you're doing that, I feel like it's going to help you better connect with people. I like it when I watch or see people or interact with people who are more transparent, not trying to hide something or put it on the front or not talk about it, or I don't like when people try to make themselves or their situations seem better or worse than what they really are. So I'm kind of let's just blow past that to some extent. Can't always do a deep dive in everything, but anyway, I wanted to be kind of transparent about this, and the only way for me to do this video is just to be pretty honest. So anyway, so all right, so I bought this item, and it is what I would consider a quote unquote super fake. I'm someone who, I like luxury items. I have a few luxury items. I don't have as many as a lot of people. I do watch it, more in the past, but even now, I do watch and have watched a lot of luxury YouTube over the years, and no matter what income bracket I've been in, I've always been interested in it. I've always appreciated luxury, even if it was something man, it's just a distant dream right now. It's something I've always liked. It's always drawn me in. Some guys like cars, some guys like watches. Well, I like cars and I like watches, but I was gonna say some guys people, I guess all of us like luxury items, and I'm definitely the kind of guy who likes luxury stuff. I like stuff that's not luxury too, but anyway, so I've always been interested in luxury stuff, and I've purchased some things on my own. Just to give you a little bit of context, I feel like I'm getting a little too rambly, but there's a point to this. I want to give you some context. So the most that I've ever spent on any one single luxury item, it's actually something I just bought recently. It was my MCM backpack that I just bought recently. I unboxed it. I think I called it my birthday unboxing. Maybe by now I've put the word, the MCM in the title, but I bought an MCM backpack. My second one, I bought it just recently, less than a month ago, and I love it. I love it. I feel like I'm talking really loud. I feel like I gotta talk quiet so my neighbors aren't what are you buying down there? But no, man, it's almost like I'm doing ASMR. No, but the most that I've ever spent on any one luxury item is what I paid for that backpack, which was about $1,000. It was $990. So after tax and everything, it was $1,000, a little bit over $1,000. The first time I bought my first MCM backpack that I bought kind of the same thing, just a different color, slightly different version, but same style. My first one that I bought years ago, like back in like 2016, 2017, something like that. It was about $730 retail. And at the time when I bought that, that was like among the highest that I had spent on a luxury item. And I took a gut, like it felt like a gut punch. I'm like, it hurt. Like, I mean, I hate the word hurt, but you know, it's like I felt it after I bought it. I'm like, what did I just do? I was glad I did it. I felt like I did the right thing. But I remember I called my dad and I'm like, I just spent this amount of money on this thing. And it's, if you've ever done that before where you're not used to spending that kind of money on something, you spend that kind of money on something. Back then, I thought I had money back then, but I shouldn't have. I really didn't. I was doing. I think I had started to do better than how I had done previously, so I took that and ran with it. I'm like, but anyway, so you kind of build up like a tolerance, like a spending level tolerance, tolerance. Okay, so you know, someone might be, and I've I hate the way this sounds, but it's like, I mean, I've been in all different, I really have. I feel like everyone says this, but I truly have been in several different financial brackets throughout my life. From when I was growing up, I grew up, my family had money. Money was not a concern for us at all. And then after, you know, the economy crashed in 2008, this could be a whole nother video. So, man, this is like a journey video. But I, you know, and when the economy crashed in 2008, I had started, that's kind of when I moved out, or shortly after, you know, I had kind of moved out and started supporting myself and whatnot. You know, our family, you know, there was, my mother passed, and, you know, there's a lot of changes. But anyway, I, for the first time in my life back then, I had experienced what it was like to be poor. There was that show, Two Broke Girls, I think it was, maybe, I think it might still be on, and they had the one rich girl who like was rich, and then she had to be like poor. I thought, oh my gosh, girl, I know how she feels, just to some extent, you know. But anyway, that was a shock to the system. And then I lived like that for a while. I actually filed bankruptcy about 10 years ago. Actually, I think I'm like pretty close to being right around the 10-year mark. Maybe it's been even a little bit over 10 years. So I say that to just say, you know, anyway. All right, so I've been all over the place, but the more, what should I say, the more money you make, I used to think that the more money I made, the more I would like spend on luxury things, but almost the more I make, the more protective, I do make some kind of like purchases, you know, where I overspend, but in a way, like the more protective I am of my money. I'm like, man, you don't want to waste that. You don't want to, you know, I'm more thoughtful of it, or at least that's the goal. You know, I used to think that people who bought a lot of nice things must be really rich. Now I think, okay, that might be the case, or maybe they just, you know, maybe they spend everything they have and do that, and then maybe they go into debt. You know what I mean? Like you never know. And then, you know, you might be tempted to judge someone who doesn't spend a lot in certain things, but I can tell you for a damn fact, there are people like that lady on the plane. I'm telling you, I love her. I genuinely, like, she's the vibe. She is the vibe. Anyway, back on track, bro. Man, what was I saying? No, what was I telling you? Give me a second, it'll come back to me. I used to think like people who didn't spend a lot on certain things, I'm like, oh, they must not, you know, make a lot of money. Not like I was anyone to judge when I was saying that, but I know for a fact that there are people who had more money than I had at the time, probably more money than I, like, you know, currently have or whatever, that would not spend, like, they would not spend $200 on a luxury item. Like, it's just, they're like, oh, that's ridiculous. But they have more money in the bank than you would. You know, you can't judge a book by its cover. There's some people who look like they don't have money, but they have money. And there's some people who look like they have money and they don't have, they're not doing as great as you think, you know? So I've learned that. So it's not always an indicator of your financial health, you know, what you buy or what you don't buy. But anyway, so should I show you the item? I'll show you the item. I've been talking for a dang long time. I actually bought two things, but I bought two things at two close together but different times. This was the first thing I bought. This is like the little thing, okay? I'll show you. This ain't the super fake right here. This is just a little, you know, get your foot in the water kind of deal. This, which I have the real version of this this is in the Damier Graphite. you know, this one's the fake, but I have the real version, which I bought years ago, and the damier, you know, just the regular damier canvas. Anyway, but yeah, so you can see that. It's nice. It looks nice. I can tell it's fake, especially when I hold it up to my, I mean, the one I have is old, but it looks nice. Like, it's a good looking thing. Like, if you were out and you saw, like, oh man, they got a nice, you know, like, that's a nice wallet or whatever. But if, I don't want to say it's easy to tell that it's a fake, because it's not like a really cheap fake, but I mean, you can tell. It's kind of like, you know how they say that they, I don't know if this is how true this is anymore or not, but I don't even know if I'm telling this right. You know how they say that they used to train people who were specialized in counterfeit currency, and like, or like in people who worked with money and who specialized in detecting counterfeit money. What they did is they gave, and again, this is just from memory, so I might say it wrong, but they gave those people a bunch of like real money just to like touch and feel and put their hands through. And that way they got so used to like the way genuine money felt, that when they felt a fake bill, which now, you know, digital is more used than like actual paper money, but you know, way back when, but the people who, they were so used to feeling the real money for a long time, they knew it was fake. So I feel like if you're used to the real thing, even me, like I have a limited amount of luxury items, I'm like, yeah, that's, you know, you can tell it's fake, but from a distance it looks good, and it's an okay fake, you know. But anyway, this guy right here, this is the Bad Manna Jamma. So I was thinking about purchasing the actual real version of this, okay? I was thinking about purchasing the actual real version, but it was like, might have the price a little wrong, or, you know, it's been a few months, so it might have gone, well, I was gonna say gone up or down. Definitely hasn't gone down. If you know anything about the luxury pricing, everything's going up. That's the other thing too. They talk about quality, and the luxury is going down and prices are going up. But anyway, I was really thinking about buying the real thing. I wanted the real thing, but it was $2,700 about. And that's, to me, that's a lot of money, okay? To me, that's like, man, that's a good chunk of change right there. To a lot of people in the luxury world though, and this is where we're just gonna get real honest and real transparent, that ain't a lot of money. That's like cheap. You know, a lot of people, I would say maybe like 5, 6, I mean, it depends on what the item is, what the brand is or whatnot, but I mean, it's gotten a little ridiculous. Like, but anyway, so either way, to me, I'm like, man, $2,700, that's a lot of money. You know, I'm kind of at a point where I am trying to figure out if I want to buy a house or whatnot, or condo or whatever, and if I want to have money to put down for that. And I'm like, you know, I got other things that I'm thinking about doing with my finances, even aside from buying a house or whatever. I mean, even just to have money in the bank, invested, and, you know, in savings or whatnot. But anyway, I'm just like, it didn't feel wise to me for me to do that. It didn't feel wise. Someone might say, I feel like I have to say this, or else someone's going to come for me. Someone might say, oh, you don't have that money. I have $2,700 in the bank. Trust me, I have like more than that in the bank, where if I wanted to, I could go in and I could pay cash money and get it. Like, I have to say that, or else someone's gonna, you know, it's like they're gonna come for you. They're gonna be like, you're poor or whatever. But it's like, there used to be this show, you know, I think Susie Orman used to have this segment on her show where it's called like, Can You Afford It? And it's not about, this is from my memory, it's not about if you have the money in the bank or whatever. It's more like, okay, well, how much you might have this in the bank, but, you know, someone might have more in debt, or you might have this, that might be all your savings. You know what I mean? It's like, there were different factors, like, can I afford this car? You know, I can afford the monthly payments. Just because you can afford the monthly payments, does that mean that you can afford the car? You know what I mean? Like, there's different things, and it didn't feel smart for me to put that amount of money, $2,700, which to me back then, I mean, it was only a few months ago, and even still, that feels like a significant amount of money. I didn't feel like it was a smart thing for me to do. I really wanted the item, but anyway, so I kind of got into, all right, let me show the item. Let me show the item. We've been chatting. Comes with a bag, bro. I don't know, came with some papers. Some of it might have my address or whatnot. I mean, you know, we got some papers, we got some ribbon, we got we got a dust bag. All right, so this is the Louis Vuitton, you know, this is the replica, you know, it's not the real one, obviously, but this is the Duo Sling, I think it's called, bro. Let me put this back on. It's a nice looking bag. This replica, it's a high quality replica, okay? And I'm gonna before you get judgy, I'm gonna tell you, would I buy it again? Would I not? Anyway, but it's a nice looking bag. This to me looks just like the real thing. Like if you saw, this is, even though it's a replica, it's high quality, like 1-for-1 ratio for the most part. There was a little something I noticed that I'll talk about, but like if I saw someone walking down with this on the street, it looks real. Like you could fool someone with this, it looks real. It's not, but it was about, the real version of this is about, roughly from memory, again, $2,700. I paid like $350 or $330 or something like that for this. So still a decent amount of money, like $400, like, it's still a lot of money, but compared to $2,700, this is obviously a lot less. So, I had kind of fallen down a rabbit hole of like, I had never thought of myself as the kind of person who would buy a fake. I'm like, I'm not the kind of guy who would buy a fake. I'm like, no, I don't like people who do that. Like that's kind of my mindset. But there was this article that came out, which, have I read the article? No. Have I listened to YouTube commentary videos on the article? Yeah. But I don't know why I say it like that. I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, about these, I think it was like these Chinese women billionaires who had, they had money. Like it's not like they just make, they had plenty of money, you know what I mean? Like they had a lot of money, even among like the rich, like they were like the richest of the rich, you know what I mean? It wasn't like they had a lot of money. And so if there was anyone who could afford to spend like $10,000, $20,000, whatever it is on a luxury item, they could do it. But even though that was their financial standing, or that's where they were really interested in buying super fakes, which I won't rehash the whole article. That kind of sums it up there. But especially like they would buy Hermes fakes, like, try to get a really good fake Birkin or fake Kelly. And it almost became like a game, like who could get the best fake. And they would spend, I think maybe like 1,000 or 2,000 on it. So still a lot of money, but compared to like, 10 grand or whatever it is. I know Birkins are all over the price range or whatever. I think, I don't know. I think the lowest of what they retail for, at least at one point was like 8, but I feel like that's not even realistic anymore. I think now it's like 12. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not shopping for a Birkin. I'm just, anyway, I'm just gonna, there are different ranges. I know if you buy it pre-loved, you pay a premium, but anyway, or off the like secondhand. I hate the word pre-loved, and I just use it. Nothing wrong with using that word. I hate the word pre-loved. I just, I don't know, just kind of like, yeah, I don't like it, but nothing wrong if you use it. A lot of people in the luxury world say it, and I respect it. It's not, or anyway, but man, what was I saying? I had kind of fallen down a rabbit hole of, well, if they're doing it, they're about as bougie as bougie can get, and they're buying fakes. So, it's kind of like, yeah, I can do that too. It kind of. And then I started to get, I was watching luxury YouTube, but then I also kind of discovered like fake luxury YouTube. And it kind of became a little bit of a, how you go through phases where you're kind of into different things. I got really interested in it. Like I was watching this one guy's channel in particular, and he was unboxing stuff left and right. Some items that he would get would be pretty good. You get some items, a few items is like, man, I don't really like this one that much. This one ain't good, He would get some, you're like, yeah, it's pretty good. And it kind of became like a little bit of a hobby, I guess you can say, for lack of better words. And so I kind of like I want one too. I want to see. And it kind of surprised me. Like I never thought I would do that, but I thought it would be a way for me to get the feeling of buying, a $2,700 bag or sling or, whatever you want to call it. I wanted that feeling, I wanted that feeling. I thought this would be a more doable way for me to get that feeling without putting down that amount of money, which it didn't feel responsible for me to do that. It didn't feel wise. Like in my gut, I'm just like, it didn't feel like the right thing to do. You know what I mean? So even though I wanted it, it didn't feel right. So I'm like, I don't want to do that right now. It just doesn't, anyway. But I needed to like quench that thirst, right? Or I wanted to, at least, you could live without it, but I really wanted to. And I got this. Did it quench the thirst? No, it did not. And I'll tell you why. Okay, I'll tell you a few things about why. So this is a beautiful bag. I'm actually a little bit sad about this because this is beautiful. Like, this is a nice item. I mean, it's a replica, so, you know, I do feel a little bit funny about it. I do feel a little bit funny about it now, but it's beautifully made. It's a nice item, okay? It's beautiful. So I kind of feel sad that, well, anyway, the only thing that I noticed that kind of would be a giveaway for me was the interior, the inside, which it's stuffed now, but the lining on the inside, I mean, on camera, okay, no, it's kind of hard to see. It might look fine, but it doesn't, to me, I mean, I'm not like, I love Louis Vuitton. I have a few like small leather goods. I have a couple wallets. I have 2 wallets and a phone case, which the phone case is for my old phone, so, you know, I can't really even use that anymore. I used that for years. I got cost per wear. They practically paid me to buy that thing if you count cost per wear. But anyway, my current wallet right now, it's a Louis Vuitton. I should actually do a video on that because I love it so much. But anyway, I have a few Louis Vuitton things. I don't have any like bags like this. It's all like more the small leather good scale of what I have from LV, but this doesn't feel like the real interior. And I like a good interior on a bag. To me, the interior of the bag, some people don't care about it, but to me, I care about the interior. I want it to feel nice. I don't know. It actually doesn't feel bad. It feels actually, well, it feels maybe a little better than how I remembered it, but that was maybe the only thing that gave it away. The smell. How does it smell? A lot of people talk about replica items having like a certain smell to them or whatnot. I don't notice anything real strong. Like now I'm like, okay, it does have like a little bit of a, you know, when you buy like a nice new leather item, you kind of, there's that nice leather smell, or even if it's like coated canvas, you know, it's like it has a nice new, like a new car smell. I mean, it doesn't smell like a new car, but you get it. It kind of has that same vibe to it. This doesn't have that. It has maybe just a tinge of a replica smell. Again, I've only bought 2 replicas, and I've shown them both. The other ones over there, I've shown you both of them, so I'm not like well versed in that. But I'm like, okay, maybe that's a little bit of the smell. It's not terrible though. Like, it's not too bad. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, 1 being, you know, hardly at all. It's maybe like a 2 or a 3. You know, like maybe a 2. It's, well, 2 or 3. It's not that bad, but this is the main thing though, is I know it's fake, and I thought, man, if I was walking down the street with this or whatever, if I was like walking down the street and someone's like, oh man, that's a nice bag, I'd be like, oh yeah, thanks, you know, that might feel okay. But if someone said, oh man, that's a nice, you know, where did you get that, you know, or, oh, you know, who, like, or, so, I mean, if you're familiar with luxury, you know, you'll be able to tell it's LV, but, you know, not everyone is, and that's, like, nothing to feel bad about. You know, something like, oh, man, what kind of bag is that, or whatever, you know, or it's the, well, you can still kind of see the print on it, but anyway, this is a little bit more under the radar, maybe, I don't know, maybe not, but, because it's the leather, I mean, like, all leather, real leather, it sounds nice. Has a decent sound to it. But if someone were to like, I want to say question me, but not question me like, oh, is that real? You know, not question me like that. But if someone's like, oh man, that's a really neat bag. Where'd you get that? Or, oh, I like the size. It's like not too small, but it's not too big. I couldn't tell someone, oh yeah, it's a Louis Vuitton, and I couldn't try to play it off as real. That's not in me. That's like, it's like not. It's genuinely like not in my character. You know what I mean? I would not feel comfortable doing that. I could, if, you know, if someone held a gun to my head, I guess I could force myself to, but it's just, that's not who I am. Like, I can't do that. Like, I wouldn't want to pass it up. Oh yeah, it's Louis Vuitton. Oh man, how much was that? Oh, it was about $2,700, you know, act like it's nothing. You know, like I don't have it in me to do that. I would almost have to tell people that it's fake. Because I wouldn't want to put on a false pretense. So, and even if I tried to, it's just not a nice feeling. You know what I mean? It's just not, it feels very fake and very phony. And I'm not, this is the thing. I know people, or I say no, I guess I mean more watch. Like, I watch people on YouTube, you know, who have fakes, and I don't think bad about them. Like, I was just watching a guy today, and, you know, he had something, he mentioned, oh, you know, I don't want people to see me with this or whatever and, you know, try to like rob me or, you know, whatever it was. He's like, it's fake, but and I like him. Like, I still like him. I don't think like less of him, like, oh, you bought a fake, you fake. You know, I don't think like that. But for me, I don't feel right about it. You know what I mean? I would have to say, oh yeah, man, it's fake, you know. And that's just, even saying that, I mean, I guess I could, but it's not, that doesn't scratch the itch. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted this to, anyway. So to kind of answer a question I talked about at the beginning of this video, would I buy a fake again? No, I wouldn't. Part of me feels like, man, you know, you spent $300 something on it. Is that a waste of money? I kind of knew that going in, though. I will say that I knew that going in. I thought, okay, just pretend you're at the casino. This is a gamble. Not that I gamble at the casino a lot or anything like that, but I do like the casinos. I actually haven't been to that many casinos, but anyway, I had fun at a casino kind of recently. Anyway, all right, enough about that. But man, what was I saying, dude? Sorry, it'll come back to me. Bro, I kind of knew that going in. I thought, okay, you know, 300 something, like 330, 350. I'm like, man, it's a lot. You know, it's a good amount of money. You know, you don't want to just spend that frivolously. It wasn't like 2,700, you know, so I kind of knew that going in that this is a gamble. I thought I might really love this, or I might do it and be like, man, I ain't never doing this again. You know, it could come back and not be good. So I knew that going in, and I just thought it's a gamble. If it doesn't turn out, just don't feel bad about it. You had to try to like scratch that itch. And anyway, so for that way, I don't think of it as a loss necessarily. Also, now I know it's not for me. Like, now I know. Also, the only time that I may ever, which, hear me out, because you're like, what? You said you want. The only time that I may ever buy like a fake is if I was considering buying the real thing, and if I wanted to see how it would work out for me, and then go and buy the real thing. Like, which I don't know. I'm actually, to tell you the truth, I probably wouldn't even want to do that. I would probably just want to go try on the real thing and see it. I don't know. Now I kind of know what I like enough now, or what's going to work or not work. But anyway, I have heard of people doing that where, you know, someone will buy, which I probably wouldn't even buy like an outright fake or knockoff. I would probably buy something that's like an inspired piece. You know what I mean? And just to see if I like that style of backpack, because I thought this, I'll tell you, I'm telling you, seriously, I love her, you know, right? Vibe. Bro, man, dude, my phone case, it's fine. I just like put my hand on my phone case and I don't think I broke it. It's like, well, here, I got my credit card and there's like a wallet case and I like kind of smashed it. And I'm like, oh man, the corner's kind of wearing, but anyway. All right, we're gonna survive. Man, what was I saying? Dude. You know, like to try out to see if I would like the real thing. Because I thought I would really like this as far as like, man, because I kind of like backpacks, but for a while I was feeling like backpacks were pretty big. You know, I would take a backpack with me for my everyday carry, but sometimes I would feel like, okay, you know, you take that in every store you go to, you know, are people going to think you're stealing stuff? You know, it was kind of like, but my MCM small, not mini, it's not a mini. Like pointing, it's not a mini, but that one kind of filled the need for my perfect, it's a perfect bag for me, which I'll maybe do a video about that in the future, but this is too small for me. This is, you know, I tried it out, tried it on, it's a good size, but it just feels a little small for me. So had I bought the real thing, you know, I kind of know now that even if I, you know, I don't want to buy the real thing anymore because, you know, this, you know, I think it's cool, but it doesn't work for me. You know, it doesn't, I need something that's a little bit bigger. Anyway, but yeah. So I wouldn't buy a fake again. I wouldn't, I kind of don't feel right about it, to be honest. I kind of do feel a little like dirty, you know, about it, but I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't, but now I know, you know, now I know. So I'm kind of back to my original, like, oh yeah, I don't want to do that, but I'm not like, you know, I don't think poorly necessarily about someone necessarily if they do buy a fake, like just for that, you know what I mean? No, so I wouldn't, but I learned, you know, So anyway, all right, any closing thoughts that I want to say? I think I've pretty much said everything, so thank you guys for watching. If you stayed in this video, check out my other videos, and I really appreciate it for those of you who made it to the end. So All right, I will see you guys in my next video. Until next time.